Gotmark76 this week, 1990.
Luger's going to the outside. Gilbert trying to recover. What's Luger doing? He's grabbing a chair. Luger grabbing a chair. Oh, and Luger nailing Gilbert with a chair. Come on. Get in there, ref. Break it up. More chairs in there. And welcome to another exciting edition of Gotmark76 this week, 1990. We have a great show lined up for you today. We start off with the Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors, taking on the State Patrol. Our big main event will be the total package. Lex Luger going one-on-one with World Heavyweight Champion Sting. That will be a non-title match, but Sting looking for a measure of revenge against Lex Luger for last week's brutal attack on Sting's friend, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. Of course, we will also have Captain Mike Rotunda taking on Kevin Sullivan, and Arn Anderson will also be in action, but the Road Warriors going to work. It is Hawk going to work on Buddy Lee Parker in the ring. Of course, the Road Warriors were part of the broadcast in that 8-man tag against Doom and the Skyscrapers, and they are looking to stay on their course in top contention here in the NWA and World Championship Wrestling as Hawk tags an animal with a shoulder block. Down goes Buddy Lee Parker off the ropes, drops a leg across the throat. Of course, things here in World Championship Wrestling picking up steam as we have Tully Blanchard and Ole Anderson trying to reform the original Four Horsemen. And of course, Sting, Ric Flair, and Arn Anderson, who will be in action later tonight, are holding as the current version of the Four Horsemen. So, lots going on here in World Championship Wrestling. Tully Blanchard and Ric Flair have yet to have a physical altercation. They've been talking, I guess that's the history that these two men have, is that they can communicate, talk to each other. They are former allies and friends in this business. It has not gotten physical between the two, but Tully Blanchard has flat out stated that Ric Flair needs to leave Sting and come back to the Four Horsemen. And Ric Flair being loyal to Sting, who has had his back for the better part of the last year, going back to the Great American Bash in July of '89. We will never forget that night in Baltimore as Ric Flair and Sting began their friendship and partnership. And Tully Blanchard, making his return to World Championship Wrestling, wants to reform the Four Horsemen, the original Four Horsemen, and of course, Sting was not part of that group. As Animal tags in Hawk, and there it is! The Doomsday Device off the top rope. And Hawk with the cover on James Earl Wright. And you can count to 10. This one's in the books. Your winners, Hawk and Animal, the Road Warriors, on World Championship Wrestling. Here are some highlights from earlier in the contest. And that double team work by the Road Warriors, who will look to challenge Doom for the World Tag Team Championship down the line. That could be a match coming to your area as World Championship Wrestling is on tour. But here it is, that Doomsday Device off the top rope. And James Earl Wright was not going to kick out of that one. And there it is from another view. And your winners, the Road Warriors. Fans, we have much more World Championship Wrestling coming your way. The World Television Champion Arn Anderson will be in action next as he takes on Bob Cook. Don't go away. We'll be right back after this quick timeout. And welcome back to World Championship Wrestling as AA Arn Anderson will take on Bob Cook here. Arn Anderson, of course, the World Television Champion and a member of the Four Horsemen. alongside Ric Flair and the World Heavyweight Champion Sting. But it was back at Wrestle War when only Anderson joined Tully Blanchard and Woman towards reforming the original Horsemen. And of course, Tully Blanchard tried to get Arn Anderson to join as well. But Arn Anderson decided to stay loyal with Ric Flair and Sting. But it is looking, sides are beginning to take shape here. And one has to wonder how long Tully Blanchard and Ric Flair will stand not getting physical with each other. As Arn Anderson throws Bob Cook hard into the turnbuckle and down goes Cook. Of course, Sting, the World Heavyweight Champion and member of the Horsemen, will be in action tonight against Lex Luger, looking for a measure of revenge for Lex Luger's brutal attack last week on Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. And Sting, of course, he wants to defend that title. This is a non-title match. I think it's more a grudge match than anything. As Arn Anderson whips Bob Cook in and a spine buster down goes Cook. And just like that, out of nowhere, Arn Anderson hits the spine buster, 2 and 3, and your winner, the World Television Champion, AA, Arn Anderson. And let's go back to some highlights from earlier in the contest. This match pretty much belonged to Arn Anderson. And Arn Anderson he is signaling that he wants some microphone time, so we will be hearing from the enforcer, Arn Anderson, after these highlights. Arn Anderson asking for some interview time. So don't go away, fans. We're going to hear from the World Television Champion in just a moment. Back, fans, and I do not believe the words that I just heard the enforcer Arn Anderson say. He has left Ric Flair and Sting. He has joined, and shall I say rejoined, Tully Blanchard and Ole Anderson, and 3/4 of the original Four Horsemen are put together. And Woman may just get her wish. She may just manage the Four Horsemen. Oh, and we have Mike Rotunda, Captain Mike Rotunda, in the ring against former ally and friend Kevin Sullivan, who just a couple weeks ago turned his back and sided with Cactus Jack Manson, and they roll him from behind, and Sullivan pinned one and a kick out of one. Sullivan Slaughterhouse joining, or I guess I should say increasing in numbers, as Kevin Sullivan, Cactus Jack, Buzz Sawyer, and of course Bam Bam Bigelow are currently in Sullivan Slaughterhouse, as Sullivan going to work on Captain Mike Rotunda. Face first into the top turnbuckle, Sullivan dragging Rotunda to the middle of the ring. Rolling over Rotunda, going for the cover. Sullivan on top, 1, 2, and a kick out of 2. We'll be right back, fans. And welcome back to World Championship Wrestling as Kevin Sullivan continues to work over Captain Mike Rotunda. Fans, Arn Anderson has sided with Tully Blanchard and Ole Anderson. And what impact will that have on tonight's main event? Tonight's main event is scheduled to be the total package Lex Luger going against Sting. And will Arn Anderson leaving the Four Horsemen affect Sting at all? As Sullivan has Captain Mike up for a superplex, and across the ring goes Captain Mike Rotunda. And Sullivan now lining him up in a big left hand to the side of the face. Another one to the side of the face. And Captain Mike in big trouble. Sullivan throwing Rotunda face first into the top turnbuckle. And one has to wonder, Ric Flair staying loyal to Sting as Sullivan goes on top for the cover. 1, 2, and 3. No! Rotunda kicks out. Flair is staying loyal to Sting, the World Heavyweight Champion. So then who would be the fourth member of the Four Horsemen? Could it be Lex Luger? Lex Luger, a former member of the Four Horsemen. As Rotunda with a fireman's carry slam, but no, picking up, does not go for the cover. Another one takes down Sullivan. And here's a replay. That fireman's carry slam. And Rotunda now does not go for the cover again. Again, it's a third time. Nails Sullivan with 3. Fireman's carry slams. It is personal as Mike Rotunda has taken it out on Sullivan. Goes for the cover. 1, 2, and 3. And Mike Rotunda puts Kevin Sullivan away with not 1, not 2, but 3 fireman's carry slams. And here are some highlights from earlier in the contest, including some of which was seen during the commercial break. But Mike Rotunda, making it personal, could have easily pinned Sullivan into the first fireman's carry slam, but hit 2 more for effect. And there is your winner, Captain Mike Rotunda. Wait a second! Cactus Jack Manson! Cactus Jack in the ring! Owen nails Rotunda with a forearm! Cactus Jack coming to the aid of Kevin Sullivan, a member of Sullivan's Slaughterhouse, has Rotunda up and a spike pile driver down! Fans, we have much more World Championship Wrestling. Our main event is next, as Lex Luger and Sting go one-on-one in a non-title matchup. We're going to stay with this as long as we can. And now Rotunda, Cactus, and Rotunda fighting back. Sends Cactus into the turnbuckle, charges, and nails Cactus with a clothesline. Rotunda going to work on Cactus. Looking for a measure of revenge, but Cactus fighting back. Oh, and nails Rotunda. And wait a second, a faceplant DDT! And Rotunda's been busted open, fans! We'll be right back after this quick timeout. And welcome back to World Championship Wrestling. It is time for our main event, a grudge match. Keep in mind that no titles or championships will be on the line during this contest. As Lex Luger makes his way to the ring, he is, of course, the United States Heavyweight Champion. And the total package, Lex Luger, in line for a future world title match. This is not that time. He will get a world title match down the road. This is a grudge match. This is a revenge match for Sting, as Lex Luger totally annihilated Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert just a couple short weeks ago on the Power Hour, bloodying up Eddie Gilbert, and we have heard that Eddie Gilbert will be out of action for quite some time. And Sting looking for a measure of revenge against his friend, and I find it ironic that Lex Luger totally annihilates Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, a friend of Sting. Meanwhile, Tully Blanchard comes back to the NWA and World Championship Wrestling, wants to rejoin the original Four Horsemen with Ric Flair, Arn, and Ole Anderson, wants to take out Sting. And who is Tully Blanchard's first opponent but Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert? As Sting going to work on Luger in the aisleway. The match hasn't even started yet, and these two men are in the entrance ramp fighting it out. Sting with a big clothesline takes Luger down. And Sting howls to the fans here at center stage. Sting picks up Luger. And a DDT on the concrete. Again, it's all legal. The match hasn't started. And Sting with an elbow in the back of Lex Luger. The referee trying to get some kind of order. And Sting throws Luger into the ring and a chop to the side of the head, another chop. And now Sting climbs the ring and the referee calls the bell and now it's official. And Sting getting a measure of revenge for his friend Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. But Sting finds himself outnumbered because just a few short weeks ago he was a member of the Four Horsemen. Now he is a member of the Horsemen. Oh, and the Stinger splash in the corner and down goes Luger. He is a member of the Horsemen. You can't say four anymore because it's just Sting and Flair now. But Luger fighting back with an elbow and a shoulder block. Takes Sting down. These two former friends, now bitter rivals, as Sting takes down Luger. And one has to wonder who the Horsemen, it's totally falling apart here. You got Sting and Flair on one side, and now you have Tully Blanchard, Ole Anderson, and after tonight, Arn Anderson, as Sting throws Luger up and down. Chest first to the mat goes Luger. And woman getting her wish. She wanted to manage the Horsemen, and she has 3/4 of the original Four Horsemen under her charge. As Sting going to work on Luger again. This is a grudge match. No championship on the line. As Sting climbs the top rope, he leaps and nails an elbow drop off the top. Goes for the cover, one, and a kick out at one by Luger. Sting staying on top of the total package, wisely doing so. And of course, Sting and Ric Flair, that is a friendship built on respect. Sting had Ric Flair's back last year, and Flair lost the title to Sting just a few short weeks ago at the Wrestle War 90 Wild Thing pay-per-view, which is available here on the Gotmark76 YouTube channel. And Sting and Flair shook hands at the end of that match. And another Stinger splash in the corner, and down goes Luger again, but Sting not going for the cover. Ric Flair has been asked to join as Sting has Luger and the Scorpion, but Luger tied up into the ropes and has to break the maneuver and powers out of it anyway, but Luger was tied up in the ropes. And Flair has been offered to join the original Horsemen and multiple times has not, as Sting goes for the cover on Luger. 1, 2, and 3, no! Luger kicks out. And I don't know what Flair's going to say after Arn Anderson left the Horsemen. I'm sure we will hear from Ric Flair during our next broadcast. That will be, of course, in 2 weeks' time on the Gotmark76 YouTube channel, as Luger trying to make a comeback with a series of clotheslines, takes down Sting, and Luger staying on top, picks up the Stinger. Charges and a running clothesline takes Sting down. We know what's coming next. It could be the torture rack. This maneuver put away Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. Oh, Luger going for a kick. Blocked by Sting. Clothesline. Takes Luger down. And Sting climbing the top rope. Lining up Luger. What's he have in mind? He leaps in a double axe handle in the back of Lex Luger. Going for the cover. Sting on top. 1, 2, and 3. No! Luger kicks out. Luger barely getting that shoulder up. And Sting not sure what he has to do to put the total package away. And I am being told, it has been confirmed, Ric Flair, we will hear from Ric Flair next week in response as Luger on top. 1, 2, and 3. No! Sting kicks out this time at the very last second. So Ric Flair will have words next week, or I should say next broadcast in 2 weeks on the Gotmark76 YouTube channel as Luger finds himself in trouble. And Sting ramming the head of Lex Luger into the top turnbuckle a number of times, 10 if you're counting at home, and down goes Luger. Sting picks up the total package, lines him up, throws Luger into the turnbuckle, charges, Stinger Splash in the corner! That is the multiple Stinger Splash in this matchup. Sting takes down Luger. He's setting him up again for the Scorpion. And this time Luger, not near the ropes. Sting locking it in. Luger trying to escape. Cannot make it to the ropes. Can Luger power out of it? He's trying, and he does. And the lower body strength of Lex Luger powers out Sting's Scorpion Deathlock. But a shoulder block by Luger takes Sting down. And Sting on the outside, Luger following him. What's he have in mind here? As Luger, and Sting kicks Luger aside. And these two men battling on the outside floor. And Luger throws Sting back first into the guardrail. The referee has begun to count. This match can end in a double countout. No titles are on the line. As Sting, again thrown hard into the guardrail. Luger follows up with a shoulder block. And Sting is in a world of trouble, but trying to fight back. And Sting slides back into the ring. That's going to break the count. But Luger still being counted out. And Sting can win this match by a countout. Up to 7. 8. But Luger drags Sting and stuns Sting by dragging his head on the top turnbuckle on a forearm smash. Goes for the cover. Luger on top 1 and a kick out of 1 by Sting. Luger again in control. Picks up Sting. Throws him into the ropes. Up and over the top rope goes the Sting. What a fast-paced match this has been. Back and forth, and wait, Luger has a chair. He used that chair last week against Eddie Gilbert. And wait a second, Luger walked into the referee goes down. What is Luger doing? He has a chair. The referee's down. Luger nails Sting with a chair. The referee didn't see it. Goes for the cover. Luger on top 1, 2, and a kick out of 2 by Sting. Luger clothesline Sting. That chair's still in the ring. Luger setting up Sting. Here it comes. The Attitude Power Driver on top of the chair. The referee letting it happen. Here's a replay. Luger nailing Sting with the Attitude Adjustment Power Driver on top of a steel chair. Goes for the cover. Referee counts 1, 2, and 3. No. Sting kicks out. Sting kicks out. Luger can't believe it. He's in shock. What does he have to do to put Sting on when he uses the chair? And that's going to be disqualification. Luger getting disqualified, takes out the referee. Fans, we thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.